Hello everyone. So many people have asked me about my Druid build, and I am not a YouTuber, but everybody asked for it, so here we go. These are my items, and after I show you the build, I'm gonna show you the gameplay a little bit in a map, preferably in a very hard map. I could do Crucible 50 and pretty much everything in the game, and gear is not expensive. Rune words are a little expensive, not Chamzot hard expensive, only Jah in the highest tier. And you can make it a little more expensive, but it's not required. That's about it. But my barb is very geared to the Merc. Also, none of the items I have are from Crucible 50, and you can do Crucible 50 with this. So that's a huge plus, of course, especially in a new season if you are not in a party. So for the glows, I am using Blood Fist. If you realize it has 7% physical resistance, I'm gonna go over physical resistance and why I need them a lot. But in every slot possible, if you can warp physical resistance, it's gonna help you a lot. The main usage of Blood Fist is obviously you have additional physical weapon damage based off your life, and my life is currently 10k, so it gives me flat 1k physical weapon damage. And it also allows me to deal more damage to bleeding enemies. Sorry. And it costs life to cast skills, so I never run out of mana, which is not an issue for me. That's all you want from your gloves, basically. My chess piece is shaft stop, and reason I go with shaft stop is again physical resistance. And if you everybody knows that these two items I have listed so far, they are dirt cheap. Like Blood Fist you can drop at level 20. Shaft Staff is like level 50 or something. They are really easy to find items. And Shaft Stop has two really important attributes for us: physical res and its unique ability. When you take 20% of your life in 10 seconds, which happens a lot, um, especially when you need it in the high-end content like Crucible 40 plus, it procs a lot and it gives you basically 50% effective HP. Like my health turns from 10k to 15k. And as I said, it's very cheap. I slammed Fortitude rune word on it. Fortitude is because it gives you weapon damage on armor, which is the only armor, I think, only armor rune word that gives you weapon damage. And ice armor is really good. Ice armor gives you a lot of armor, and I can show you ice armor here. It also chills people and 10% reduced damage taken. It's perfect. Also gives you some barrier, but barrier is pretty much useless for me. Still, very good armor, and it is pretty cheap. You just need Lauren for it. It's really cheap. And my boots are silkweave. Reason with the silkweave is that it gives me energy based off my run speed. Since I am a wolf, wolves run really fast, especially if you put some points to it. And I don't have many points to it right now, only one, but you can, reduce your blood ant levels and put some in it, and it's gonna be just fine. And the reason why I need energy is that my weapon damage is based off energy. So if I press shift, if you see, this is my actual weapon damage with the energy bonus. And I get a lot of extra potion, for example, gives me a lot of run speed. When I kill something, my blood taste for blood buff gives me movement speed. All of these are adding damage to me. For example, I press shift. Now I use my speed potion. 1 second. See? It gives me like 10-15% damage just by pressing my speed potion. That's all. And Cerebral Sprite. Cerebral Sprite is kind of the best in slot if you want to do AoE farming, mapping. I haven't switched it before, but you can switch it for a more single target helmet, but I could do Crucible 50 with this, so it's all good. Blood Hunt has no longer cooldown. It means that you can use Blood Hunt for pretty much anything. It gives you great AoE, but as I said, it's not required that much because it's like an auto bomber. When you kill a bleeding enemy, cooldown is reduced anyway, so you just keep on going with a single cast. In most cases, if you miss it, it happens so fast, like a flicker strike in PoE. If you do it so fast, you sometimes miss and you stand still for like 2 seconds. Uh, Otherwise, it says nearby enemies are always marked with blood scent. This is the taste of blood debuff, and it gives you extra chance to bleed. I mean, you pretty much bleed all the time, but still it's a good buff because when you kill the marked enemy, you get a lot of HP. So this is pretty much best in slot in my opinion. Of course, you can get something with more damage, but I don't know. I don't think it's required because especially you get +4 to shapeshifting skills from this. It's really hard to get all skills on helmet more than 3, I think. And my amulet is just plain full on life, all res, because as you see, I have uniques on all slots, so I need all res somewhere. Physical damage to weapon, that's always nice to have, but not mandatory. Percentage lives are the most important, and the resistance. Ring, exactly the same idea. Life resist, physical damage to attacks, always nice to have, but area of effect is really good because Blood Hunt is an area of effect. It hits everything in that area. It's not required though. Most required stats are of course life, all res. That's all. All the implicits are life, as you can see. Life is the most important stat for me. My belt is Verdungo's Harticourt. This is one of the rare items. It's not as easy as the other items, but it is not, extremely looked for. So you can sometimes get it for 1 iron or 2 at most. And it is really good for us because all damage taken is recovered. Also, you get extra vitality. You get percentage life again. Only belt with the percentage life. And that's pretty much it. I saved the weapon for last because weapon has a lot of explanations behind it. Our weapon is Iron Jank Bonk, which nobody is using ever. And it's a huge plus. If it's meta, it's really annoying to get decent weapons. Hopefully it won't get too much expensive. So what it gives us is combat acrobatics, from the soul grid. I'm gonna show you the soul grid. You will understand why that is important. And when you dodge an attack or spell, you get level 40 shockwave. And if you see the last effects before the magic find, it's gonna be 100% increased effectiveness of shockwave, which means, let me show you the shockwave skill. It is very rare attack. Normally I can't use it. It breaks physical resistance. Also, it is a lot of damage. And level 40, if you realize my main skills are 27, level 40 shockwave deals a fuck ton of damage. And you have 75% chance to use it every time something attacks you, because if you can see here, I have 75% dodge chance. This is the cap. So pretty much if you do nothing in hell, I will show you in the map, I will do literally nothing and everything is gonna kill itself with the shockwave. So it's very good, but that's not the only thing. You get Might Aura. Might Aura is always epic, you know. That's just plain extra damage aura. It also works for your Mercenary. Mercenary has a huge effect, by the way. It gives you 30% area of effect. Great addition. Lots of attack speed. And I said lots because I have Jewel in it. It is actually 30%. And a lot of weapon damage. I mean, it's not super hardcore high. Normally you can get 300% on rares, but for a unique it's really high. You also get about 5k defense. Defense is really important for us because, as I said, we are using combat acrobatics and our defense is converted to dodge chance, and we are dodge capped right now. And Seismic Slam, I try to use Seismic Slam. It's really not that important. I mean, I tried it, it's okay. It doesn't do much for us. I am not using it at all, but you can try. And 25 to 30% dodge chance. That's of course epic with our build. I mean, if you realize for Fizz Res Cap, normally you need 50k defense, but with only 14k defense, I can cap my dodge chance. And because of Chef Stuff and Chef Stop and Blood Fist, Physical Res Corruption, and my Soul Grid with my Spirit of Barbs, I get 53% physical resistance without any defense bonus. So that's really important. And I will show you another thing. Meanwhile, since this is also an item, we are using Diablo Soul because 30% of physical damage is converted to fire damage. And I get execution damage because of it. Execution damage is nice, but the main reason we are using is that we don't have much physical damage mitigation since our defense is converted to dodge. Only 53%, normally 75, which means we take 2 times more damage from physical without any penetration, and you can get like -10 penetration for physical res, which means 30% of it going to fire is a huge damage mitigation. Like Diablo Soul is kind of a must for this. And this is the pretty much gear preview. Rune words are Fury for weapon. Fury is using Jaw rune. It's kind of expensive, but Jaw is still manageable compared to Zod or Burr. I mean, not Burr, Zod or Cham. So it's not bad, but it's a huge damage multiplier. I mean, if you read the attributes, crit chance, of course, good. Bleeding enemies damage, of course, really important for us because we are always bleeding. Chance to inflict bleeding, of course, that's another important attribute for us. Weapon damage, good as always. 15% attack speed. I mean, how can you say no to that? And fortitude for armor. And I explained fortitude a little bit. Ice armor is really good for us because, as I said, without any decent investment in armor or defense, with the ice armor and my weapon and all the other stuff that I told you about, you don't need to do anything important. Like, I don't have any ethereal gear, which makes them cheaper even. And I am dodge capped. I don't need anything on top of these. Fortitude is great for that as well. And my helmet reward right now is Nadir for execution and defense, but this is just a placeholder. I'm gonna change this to focus for concentration aura and +1 skills and crit damage. It's a really good reward, but it uses Zod. Zod means you are fucked basically right now. It's so expensive. Instead of that, I just put Nether as a placeholder. There is another reward, Valor. Valor is also real good, but it's a gamble because it gives you a random class skill if you hit Druid. That's great, but otherwise you are cocked. Uh, it also gives you flat life, so you are not completely cocked, but still too much RNG. And also that one requires a Jah, I think. That's why I didn't use it. This is pretty much the gear now. And my skill tab is Max Wolverine, Max Oak Sage. I mean, these are just plain multipliers. 2 points in barbs. Why 2 points? When you get, I mean, you are gonna spend 1 point at least to have it. If you put the second point, you are gonna get 1% more physical res. And as I said, physical res is really important for us, so 2 points in barbs. For shapeshifting, you are maxing Bloodhunt, Fury, Feral Rage. If you are not pushing really high Crucible, you can spec out of Fury and put it to Werewolf. You are gonna be much faster. But if you wanna do some hardcore boss damage, you are gonna need Fury because I tested both. Feral Rage is not enough and Bloodhunt is not enough, but Fury has great boss DPS. But it's useless for pretty much anything else. I mean, if you are gonna map just spec to Werewolf, you are gonna be fine. And I just change, one potent orb or whatever the fuck its name. It's really easy to get. And Feral Hall, this is a great skill again, buff. And when you kill stuff with critical strike, you are gonna reduce the cooldown, and you crit a lot because of Feral Rage. We have about 69, 65%-ish crit chance with full Feral Rage. And 1 point into Cyclone Armor, this is just a huge, value point. You get free all res, basically. And some cast speed, you don't need much cast speed, but still. All res is always nice, and we have a lot of uniques on my gear. I mean, almost all of them are unique, so we need the all res. And my attributes, just dump everything into vitality. We have some energy because of the silk weave, as I said. And when I press potion, if you can see, I just got 70 more. You get a lot of energy because of the run speed. You get about 250, and that's pretty much enough. It doesn't worth losing vitality for energy just because of your weapon stat. And I think this is all except mercenary. Mercenary is important because my mercenary uses Windhammer. I think it's the best weapon for mercenary right now. because gives you fanaticism aura. Fanaticism gives you run speed, as you can see here. Run speed, attack speed, like these are just bread and butter for me. Very important. And Ghoulite because of the armor. Armor gives us nearby undead enemies deal less damage, nearby enemies take less damage. Redemption Aura, this is just a great item for your mercenary. It's not hugely defensive, but still the auras alone makes up for it. Ghoulite is just for those. Also Trace of Chthon. And Trace of Chthon gives you again slower attack speed for enemies. This guy is just made completely for debilitating my enemies. And we got Sanctuary Aura here, Sanctuary Aura here, and everything around us counts as undead, so they keep getting stunned and knocked down. This is the rune word, Lawbringer. Lawbringer rune word also gives you Enfeeble. Enfeeble is another slow, and I use Vamp Case Helmet. This is another slow. As you can see, nearby enemies attack and cast 20% slower. So my bar survives until Crucible 40 easily. From 40 to 50, it only dies to a few select things like cactuars and those flesh golems. Maybe ifrits, but very rarely. But only a few things, and when you skip the map, he respawns. Against Ultima, I mean, I can barely survive, so he doesn't survive, but he can survive for like 10 seconds. And 10 seconds is huge for his debuffs. He helps a lot. And his rings are rares and Bulkatos. I forgot to mention mine Bulkatos as well. Of course, we are using Bulkatos in both rings and both characters. And this is pretty much all the gear and setup. Let me show you a small gameplay. This is... Let's get a juicy map. This has double bosses, max life, a lot of packs. I can't leech. They got more Ellie res. I mean, I can find something better than this. Let's try this one. This one got double boss as well. I don't want to waste it. Let's try to get a real hard one. Okay. Oh, this is extremely hard. Also has decreased run speed, so this is like a giant giga hard map. Fizz res, less damage. They got more life. I got less run speed. This is a great example. Okay. And gameplay is basically you do nothing. Just press Q once if you want. And I just press W, that's Blood Hunt. And I do literally nothing. I mean, I am even too lazy to get a feral charge stack for 50% crit chance. And I can still kill everything in this fucking hardcore rippy map. And I don't lose any HP. Everything is dodged. And if you remember when I told you if I do nothing, they are gonna die anyway. Here you go. They just shockwave themselves. I do nothing right now. They are shocking themselves. My Merc is owning them because my Merc is actually really strong if you realized even he can survive in this rippy map. This is me doing nothing right now. Okay, let's play. I mean, if I play, it just goes a lot faster, of course, but I don't need to do anything right now. And this is minus 43% run speed. So if you are annoyed with the run speed, you can get a Ginter's Rift to your Switch and teleport around, at least for backtracking, but I don't think it's required. I'm just, as I said, too lazy to do stuff. Of course, Cactuars crash my PC. That's regular Annihilus for you since 2016. It's just the safest mapping experience, and it's almost as good as Autobombers. I mean, only backtracking is really annoying. If you want, you can, as I said, get a Ginter's Rift for it, or the teleport potion, maybe, but I don't think it's worth it. You lose so much run speed, and run speed is an integral part of my build. This is pretty much how it goes. I'm gonna just skip to the boss and show you how the boss kill is happening. If I just attack stuff, it's gonna be easier to find them, so I'm not even gonna use my Feral Ray charges, or I'm not gonna use Fury. I think those are only needed for Crucible. You can just press Blood Hunt and win in the map. I think there's a huge difficulty difference between maps or anything really and Crucible. Crucible is a little bit too hard right now. And I'm just looking for the boss right now. Oh, it's an Lenimo. First time I got it actually. It's ethereal. Normally it's a very common drop, but it's pretty random as well. I still couldn't find the boss, but it should be around here somewhere. I mean, I pretty much finished the fucking map. Yeesh. We got a hider. He's hiding. So, where are you? What the hell? I guess he is bottom left. Or did I kill him accidentally? Question mark. I don't even know. It's so frantic. It's like Flicker Strike and PoE. I may have missed them, but I'll keep looking around. I want to show you how the boss is killed because, as I said, you use Fury for the bosses, but it's really not needed. You can just press W, or if you don't press anything, you are gonna eventually kill him anyway. Just try to find him again. I wish bosses had a bigger icon or I don't know something, but as I said, the biggest problem I have is backtracking, and sadly I got minus movement speed in this mod, so it's taking a little bit too long to backtrack, but I mean this guy's hiding really, really hard to not die. I don't think I killed him because he drops a bunch of maps right now when you kill him, so highly doubt he's dead. He's probably here, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, here. I just press W and he's dead. I haven't done anything besides pressing W, which is my blood hunt. That's all. So that's it. Have a nice day. See you.